Thank you. Okay, when I was about 7 years old, my family went on a trip to drop my sister off at a field hockey camp. I have two sisters and a brother. I'm the youngest. My oldest sister is 8 years older than me, so we were dropping her off at field hockey camp. Now, a road trip in my family, it was always a big ordeal. My mom always drove. That was just the way it always was. The only times I ever remember my dad driving is like if he took us to church, which was like 5 blocks away. But aside from that, my mom's always driving. That's the way it is now, still to this day. Like Dale Earnhardt Jr. could show up and try to take the family out for a Sunday drive, and he will end up in the passenger seat. She just refuses to let anybody else drive the car. So that left my dad to navigate, which he's terrible at. We always got lost. So that leads us into this story. We had to make our way down into like Maryland or something, I guess. It's hard for me to remember because I was 7 and a lot more traumatic things happened after this. But I mean, just on this day alone. So we were driving around, and as we typically did, we got lost. Now my dad always prepared for being lost. He always packed a cooler whenever we got in the car, and we always had enough rations to never have to buy anything in another state, which I think he just feared that there weren't stores in other places. But we were never that worried that we would be lost. We were always prepared for it because he always had a cooler and like boxes of crackers, and we were always prepared. But we ended up driving around and driving around and driving around and driving around, and we couldn't find anything. We were sort of in farmland. We couldn't find this place. This is back before GPSs. This is back before half the things were even on the map, probably. So we were just driving around. Occasionally my dad would ask for directions, and then sometimes we found places. Usually we didn't, because they usually misunderstood them. So after like hours probably of driving around, we see a paper plate like taped to a tree. That's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And the paper plate is too far away for us to make out. My brother and I always sat in the back of the van. My sisters were in like the middle seats, and then my parents were up in the front. So it was too far away for us to make out. So my dad, man, leader, father that he was, got out of the car to go read the paper plate, in case that was a sign that pointed us to the field hockey camp that we've been looking for all day. I hate field hockey now, just as a side note. It's a terrible sport. So my dad gets out of the car, walks over to the paper plate, and I guess he's reading it. I don't remember if I heard dogs or I saw dogs, but there were dogs. Really, really big dogs. And they were running after my dad. And like, my dad turns around, he looks scared to death. He looks terrified. My brother and I are terrified. My sisters are panicked. And my mom is panicked. What each of us did with those different emotions is different. My brother and I, we kind of yelled, like, look out, which my dad heard the dogs. It's not like we had to really yell, look out. I think my sisters yelled as well. And my mom hit the gas pedal of the van in a move that she has not lived down for it's like been 25 years now. She has not lived this down. She hits the gas pedal and we start driving away. As my dad has turned around, my dad's not like a physically fit man. Not that he's fat, but he's not, you know, I've never seen him move that fast in my life except for this. So he just turns around and starts running towards the van, but the van moves. Now, we only drove about 10 feet, but it was clear that my mom had hit the gas and we had started to drive away. And until we yelled at my mom to stop, and also that my dad slapping on the side of the van, I think maybe got her to stop. That's when she stopped, and then we swung the van door open, and my dad got in, and then we drove off. And the dogs literally chased us for like 100 yards, but they never actually got to him. They were close, though. And my dad got in the van. He just looked like a man betrayed, like I mean, through his out-of-breath ramblings, he was just kind of like, you know, like, what were you doing? Which my mom had no real explanation, but I know that she loves her kids and was just trying to get them away from danger. And, you know, if my dad's collateral damage, that's, you know, he may have already been dead. Eventually, before nightfall, we actually found the field hockey camp, dropped my sister off. And to this day, I still don't really know what that sign says, but my dad says it said, "Beware of dogs."